Everybody, Andy here again, down on the beach, Hastings Beach, yet again. I've probably entitled this particular video "What a Week," and it has been quite an interesting week, one way or the other, as you might be well aware if you've been following any of my blog posts on any of my blogs or my AudioBoos, and I'll put links to them down below in the doobly-doo, so that if you don't know what's been going on, I'm not going to go over it all again, but for those who aren't aware, we had a major fire here on Hastings Pier on Tuesday morning, and I happened to be up or around anyway, certainly awake, and I went down and took my camera, took my phone, as you do, and started taking video, photographs. I recorded an AudioBoo, and then I put them online, and that's when the week started to go a little bit strange, because as I pointed out in some of the other blogs, myself and my sort of fellow photographers or whatever, video makers, were the only people there. There weren't any press, TV, cameras, radio people or anything like that. Because we were local, we were the people on the spot. And because of that, our footage, my footage especially, that I know of, and obviously I can really only speak for myself with a few exceptions, has been used all over the place. I've been contacted this week by different radio stations, TV stations, you know, the BBC, national radio stations, newspapers, etc. My videos have appeared on the Guardian website, they've appeared on the local paper's website, they've appeared on the website of other Brighton newspapers, of national radio stations, as have my photographs, my AudioBoo that I recorded while I was watching the pier burning down. Within 5 minutes of me putting that up, I had an email from AudioBoo themselves to say that had been featured. So that particular Tuesday, it was absolutely manic, and that has continued onwards, because I've been finding out via other people where my material has been found. I've had, I don't know how many thousands of video views this week. My main video that I did of Hastings Pier has now got well over 4,000 views, and I didn't actually monetise that one purposely because I didn't think it was right to do so. So I probably lost myself some money, but I probably gained it. I mean, I haven't got any money from any of these other people. I've just shared my content because in some ways that's what I feel I should be doing. That's one thing that this medium, and I mentioned this in one of the blogs, has taught me to do. I would probably never have done what I did this week without having been on YouTube, without having been involved in the sort of social media world for a few years now. Yes, there were lots of people taking photographs, and you think, yes, I'll take a few photographs, but it's only afterwards, and I realised that I thought, hang on a minute, no one else has got this, apart from a few exceptions. One of my Twitter colleagues from Hastings had one of his photos on the front page of the Guardian newspaper the other day. So that shows you, once again, they're relying on us, what I called us citizen journalists. So, and that type of thing's been going on. It's been going on all week with, say, messages from other people, mainly via Twitter. And that's one thing that I'm going to talk about in another blog post, is the way that Twitter's really shown how this works, I think, the way that we get news out there, the way that the world's changed. And even though, you know, your material turns up on all these websites, half of which you don't realise, and I said it's only through other people telling you that you find out about it. So dealing with all those messages, those emails, those comments and everything, and getting comments back from other people, appreciating what you're doing, I think. And as I say, it's not just me, not just singing my own praises, although obviously I don't know what other comments people have got, but people have thanked me, local people have thanked me for doing it, apart from obviously the comments from people abroad who would have seen this. And as somebody else pointed out, they never would really have known about Hastings Pier. They felt a slight attachment to it because of my videos, because of my photographs, because I talked about it in the past, because of what other people have done as well with their own photographs, etc. You can search and find out. You might have watched one of my videos and they thought, oh, I'll have a look at that, and Googled Hastings Pier. And it's quite weird the way that that's gone around. So that brings up lots of different aspects of this, which I'll mention in a minute. But one other thing that happened to me the other day, I thought this was all dying down, and then I had an email from someone who wanted to use one of my photographs in a book that they're just publishing. So once again, and they found that on the BBC News website, one of the posters. Yes, sure, I actually did contact some of these people because, as you know, probably nowadays, wherever you are in the world, whenever something happens, the newspapers, the TV stations, the radio stations want footage, want photographs, video footage, whatever, on the iPhone like I'm using now. Because, as I said, we're the people that are there, the local people are the ones who are going to be there first. Yes, some of that video footage might be grainy, it might be a bit shaky, but it's the only footage they've got. All the footage basically that came of the pier actually burning came from people like myself, because by the time that the media cavalry arrived, it had died down a bit. The worst of it, in some ways, was over. So it sort of shows you sort of different aspects of it. One, yes, I would never have been able to do this. We would never have been able to do this. The story would never have been able to be covered in the way that it has been without this, without social media and my use of social media. And as I said, it's taught me how to do things. It's taught me how to talk about certain things, how to frame photographs a little bit as well, how to present video in lots of different ways and edit it very quickly. Another thing that it's taught me is that I actually got a buzz out of doing that. I actually enjoyed it. It was even in a weird sort of way. It was actually quite exciting to do. And yes, I'm quite happy to admit that it is nice to get feedback from people to say that they enjoyed your photographs, they enjoyed your sort of coverage from wherever that might have been, you know, from across the world in some cases. But it's also good to know that your footage, your output is material, whatever, is good enough or considered good enough to be put onto other people's websites and to have it shared. It is nice. I can't dispute that one little bit, that there is something good, gratifying about getting that sort of metaphorical sort of pat on the back, I suppose. So yes, there's that side of it, but the other side of it also is that I realised the other day that I would never have been able to do this. All that I've done this week, devote the time, because basically the whole of Tuesday I spent on the computer dealing with either getting the different stuff that I'd made out there, or dealing with the requests that I got with the comments, etc., and then feeding other things and answering messages, Twitter comments, etc., etc. So it became a full-time job in a way, and if I had had a full-time job, I would not have been able to do that. I remember a great t-shirt or a great comment that someone once said, "My wife drove me to drink, and I never had never had the chance to thank her." Or never had the decency to thank her. And I feel a bit like that with work now. I've realised that my boss made me redundant. I've never had the chance to thank him. And as I said, I've just met some friends of mine on the seafront, and they said, well, maybe you've opened up a new chapter. Your name gets out there, the word gets out there, the people are using your photographs, etc. One of my photographs was in the local paper yesterday, and people notice those type of things. So who knows where these things might be? As I said before, you never know with these redundancies or bad things in life that happen. Something good can well come out of it, and as someone else once pointed out, maybe all these things are done for a reason. I don't know. As I said, I'm not making any money out of this, and maybe a couple of quid of AdSense revenue or something from Google. We shall see. But as I said, I enjoyed it. It was something good. It's still going on now. So things are still happening. Things are still coming along. There are other things coming along in the pipeline that I'm getting involved with. I might be able to get involved with once again, because I now have the time. I'm now able to devote my time and my energies and maybe whatever skills that I've got to actually help out, to share these stories, to share these things, and to share them with the rest of the world, because sometimes other people can't do that. So I consider myself quite lucky in a way this week. So there you go, a little bit of an update on what's been going there for what has been a pretty crazy week, but in some ways I wouldn't have had it any other way. Anyway, thanks for your time. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.